would have thought that at 76 years old I would be here in front of a camera talking to you about such an intimate and delicate subject? When I was younger, talking about sex was practically taboo, and the act of ejaculation was hardly even mentioned. I remember well how these subjects were swept under the rug, something forbidden to even think about. No one discussed sexuality, much less the frequency of ejaculation. But look how times have changed. And look, thank goodness they have, right? Today, we can discuss these topics openly, without shame, in a respectful way. And I am a great advocate of the idea that learning about the body never gets old, regardless of age. Have you ever stopped to think about how ejaculation affects the body? I'm not just talking about the momentary pleasure that is often associated with it, but about the entire impact it has on our physical, emotional, and even mental health. If you've ever wondered whether ejaculating every day is good for you, or if it can somehow harm your health, or if avoiding climax can have any negative effects, then you're in the right place. Today, we're going to explore together all these questions that, for a long time, were hidden behind myths and taboos. Since I was young, I've always been curious about how the body works, and as I've gotten older, this curiosity has only grown. When I saw this topic gaining more and more space in current conversations, I thought to myself, why not talk about it? Sexuality is part of who we are, and the feeling of well-being it brings goes beyond age. And that's exactly what I'm going to discuss with you. One thing that has always accompanied me throughout my life is this insatiable curiosity. I've never been one to accept things as they are. I've always wanted to know the why and the how. So, when I saw that many people were discussing the frequency of ejaculation and how it impacts health, I thought, does everyone know how important this is? After all, this issue isn't just about immediate pleasure. It has profound implications for your physical and emotional health. Have you ever wondered if ejaculating every day is good for your health? Or maybe you've wondered what happens if you avoid climaxing for long periods of time. The truth is that these questions aren't new, but the answers can be surprising. Today, we know a lot more about the human body than we did in the past, and it's fascinating to discover how certain habits, such as ejaculation frequency, can affect not only pleasure, but overall health. I grew up hearing myths about ejaculation. They said that wasting sexual energy made men weaker, that they would lose vitality if they ejaculated too often. It wasn't uncommon to see older men worrying about how many times they reached climax, as if it was something that could be saved for the future. But as time went by, it became clear that the human body is much more complex and resilient than we imagined. As science advances, we discover that the act of ejaculating is not just a matter of momentary pleasure. In fact, it can be linked to a number of factors that affect long-term health. For example, ejaculation can be related to longevity, emotional balance, and even the prevention of serious diseases, such as prostate cancer. Sounds incredible, doesn't it? Now, I want to talk about a subject that may seem distant to many, but that deserves all our attention: prostate health. This small gland, often forgotten, plays a crucial role in the life of any man. And yes, it is directly related to our main question: can ejaculating frequently be beneficial to your health? The prostate is responsible for producing part of the seminal fluid, which protects and transports sperm. When you maintain an active and regular sex life, this fluid is produced and expelled more constantly. Now imagine if this production stops for long periods. Doesn't seem healthy, right? And science confirms this suspicion. Recent studies show that there is a link between ejaculation frequency and the risk of prostate problems, including prostate cancer. Men who maintain a regular routine of ejaculating more often throughout the month appear to have additional protection against the development of prostate diseases. Some studies have even suggested that the practice of ejaculating more than 21 times a month is associated with a reduced risk of prostate cancer. Interesting, right? The theory behind this is that regular ejaculation helps maintain fluid flow within the prostate, preventing the buildup of potentially harmful substances. When semen is expelled frequently, it can reduce the risk of inflammation and other conditions that, over time, can contribute to cancer. In addition to protecting against prostate cancer, frequent ejaculation also has other benefits that you may not know about. For example, when semen is expelled regularly, the body increases the production of antioxidants and other beneficial substances that protect prostate cells. This is something that scientists discovered when analysing the frequency of ejaculation and its effects on men's health. In addition, maintaining an active sex life is not only good for the body, but also for the mind. Studies show that ejaculation releases hormones such as prolactin and oxytocin, which provide a feeling of relaxation and well-being. And let's be honest, feeling relaxed and relieved is essential for good overall health. In addition to the physical benefits, we need to talk about the emotional and mental impact that frequent ejaculation can have. Over the years, I have personally noticed how intimacy and sexual release play an important role in mental health. When we are younger, we may not pay much attention to it, but emotional well-being is essential at all stages of life. Ejaculation releases endorphins, dopamine and serotonin, chemicals in the brain that make us feel good and relaxed. These hormones are linked to feelings of happiness and satisfaction. For many men, regular sex helps to relieve stress and anxiety. It is almost like a natural escape valve, which can have positive effects both on their daily lives and on the way they face bigger challenges. Now imagine what it would be like to live without this regular release. Instead of relieving tension, you can accumulate stress and negative emotions, which can even influence your relationships and the way you interact with others. And this brings us to another important point. Intimacy in a relationship goes far beyond the physical act itself. It's about connection, exchanging affection, and often, frequent ejaculation or lack thereof can directly impact this connection between two people. When there is a healthy frequency of sexual intercourse, couples generally feel closer and more emotionally connected. Regular sexual intercourse not only strengthens emotional bonds, but also brings security and trust to the relationship. I have observed many couples over the years who were in stable relationships but faced challenges in their intimacy. Many thought that the frequency of ejaculation was something trivial, but in fact, it plays a crucial role in the balance of the relationship. Being sexually satisfied directly influences the way we feel about our partner, and consequently, how we deal with conflicts and daily difficulties. Have you ever wondered what the secret to a long and healthy life is? Throughout my journey, one thing that has always struck me is how people who maintain an active sex life seem to have more vitality. Several studies have suggested that regular sex may be related to longevity, and ejaculation is an important part of that. Who would have thought, huh? Research indicates that men who ejaculate frequently tend to live longer. It seems like a simple equation. The act of ejaculating can improve blood flow, reduce blood pressure, and even strengthen the immune system. In other words, it is not just the immediate pleasure that matters, but all the long-term benefits that come with it. This makes me wonder, could part of the secret to living a long and fulfilling life be maintaining an active sex life into old age? Now here's a fun fact that may surprise many people. Sex and ejaculation can improve heart health. Yes, that's right. Sexual activity is considered an excellent cardiovascular exercise. When we are engaged in sexual intercourse, the heart rate increases, blood flow is stimulated, and in the end, there is a reduction in blood pressure. But the most interesting thing is that men who ejaculate frequently seem to have a lower chance of developing heart problems. Of course, we are not talking about a magic cure, but a habit that, combined with other factors such as diet and exercise, can bring enormous benefits. Who would have thought that something so pleasurable could also be so good for heart health? When I was young, I often heard that men lost energy or became weak if they ejaculated too much. I grew up with this idea ingrained, believing that somehow regular ejaculation could decrease a man's vitality. But as I learned more, I discovered that this was just another myth that has been passed down from generation to generation. In fact, the human body is incredibly adaptable. Sperm production is continuous, and the energy expended during ejaculation is quickly replenished. The important thing is to have balance. It's not a competition to see how many times you can ejaculate, but rather to understand that your body has its own natural rhythms. There's no need to save your ejaculation or fear that it will drain your life energy. Like everything in life, ejaculation frequency requires balance. Too little can be harmful, but too much can also cause physical or emotional discomfort. The important thing is to find a rhythm that works for your body and your health. I remember many men coming to me asking if they should control their ejaculations. The answer I always gave is, listen to your body. There is no hard and fast rule about how often it is normal to ejaculate. Everyone is different, and what is healthy for one person may not be healthy for another. The key is to listen to your body and emotions. In a relationship, this is even more important, as it involves not only your own well-being, but also that of the other person. Ejaculation also has a direct impact on mental health. For many people, sexual release is a way to release pent-up tension. Studies suggest that men who maintain an active sex life and ejaculate regularly tend to have lower rates of depression and anxiety. This release of hormones such as endorphins and dopamine helps combat feelings of sadness, providing a sense of relaxation and well-being. So, in addition to the physical benefits, there is a significant mental impact that should not be ignored. Who would have thought that something so natural could be so therapeutic? Throughout my life, I have observed that maintaining intimacy and an active sex life is also essential for aging well. Often, as we get older, society makes us feel that we should no longer talk about sex, as if it was something that we should abandon over time. But on the contrary, aging does not mean giving up pleasure or intimacy. In fact, sex can be a source of happiness and vitality, even in old age. For me, it is a question of self-esteem and well-being. The important thing is to keep your mind and body active, and that includes a healthy sex life. After all, why should we stop living intensely because of age? So, here we are. We talked about ejaculation and how it can impact physical, emotional, and mental health. We discovered that, far from being just a matter of pleasure, ejaculation plays a crucial role in longevity, prostate health, mental well-being, and overall quality of life. As a 76-year-old woman, I am amazed at how much we can learn about our bodies, regardless of age. If you take anything away from this conversation, let it be the importance of knowing yourself, understanding your own body, and not being afraid to explore issues that may, at first glance, seem taboo. After all, curiosity never dies, and that is what keeps us alive and vibrant. If you are curious and want to learn more, this is just the beginning. In the next video, you will discover even more about intimate health, and I guarantee you there is much more that you can't even imagine. So take advantage and subscribe to the channel, leave a like to support our work, and share this content with anyone you think can also benefit from this knowledge. Let's break taboos together and learn more and more. Oh, and I want to hear from you. Leave your opinion in the comments, what you thought of this video and where you are watching from. I love getting to know you and understanding how our content is reaching different parts of the world. And don't forget, a link to the next video that you need to watch is appearing here on the screen. Click on it now and find out how to continue this journey of self-knowledge and health. See you there. So here we are. We've talked about ejaculation and how it can impact your physical, emotional, and mental health. We've discovered that, far from being just a matter of pleasure, ejaculation plays a crucial role in longevity, prostate health, mental well-being, and overall quality of life. As a 76-year-old woman, I'm amazed at how much we can learn about our bodies, regardless of age. If you take anything away from this conversation, let it be the importance of knowing yourself, understanding your body, and not being afraid to explore topics that may, at first glance, seem taboo. After all, curiosity never dies, and that's what keeps us alive and vibrant.